Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. We're discussing a story that will surely make you laugh out loud. Anne thought to herself, oh come on, it's not really that dramatic. I wouldn't even bother if they weren't a couple. But that plush doll on her head is just a bit out of place right now. Suddenly, Big Spring heard a strange noise and quickly turned around, grabbing a flashlight. She saw something resembling a black ghost with glowing red eyes in the darkness, so creepy, it's hilarious. That thing just teased her and dove straight into the stove, leaving Big Spring empty-handed. Big Spring was a bit bummed, thinking if she had filmed that, she'd be a star. But the moment she got back to the monitor, it started pouring rain. Then the monitor displayed a bizarre scene as IRMS readings dropped rapidly. It plummeted to 0.0 MHz, which, in local lore, is a clear signal for trouble. Suddenly, Xiaomi opened her eyes as if sleepwalking and swung the door wide open. No matter how Big Spring yelled, she acted like she was deaf. When Xiaomi turned her head, revealing eyes as white as a ghost, wow, Big Spring nearly fainted from fright. But fortunately, it was merely a dream, although the door stood wide open indeed. Big Spring dashed over and found Xiaomi gone, leaving only him sleeping soundly. She woke him up, oblivious to the fact that the stuffed doll behind her was now half a doll. And Little Rain heard the commotion and planned to go out with her to find Xiaomi. But Little Rain grabbed her and said there's a monster outside, better not go out, then fainted. At this moment, finally, located Xiaomi in the kitchen, where she was standing stiffly in the corner. Big Spring thought Xiaomi was just pretending to cry again, but suddenly she collapsed. It was as if something was yanking her, and a panicked them and Big Spring rushed to grab her legs. They desperately yanked Xiaomi out of the hole, only to see her face covered with black hair. The two were left dumbfounded, instantly dropping Xiaomi's legs and losing their smiles for good. Oh no, this is getting serious. The nightmare is just beginning. Realizing something's off, they quickly backed out. Big Spring took charge of packing, while searched behind for big rocks, when suddenly Big Spring heard a voice from the radio. The voice was clearly Xiaomi's, and full strength, saw Big Spring's blank expression and smashed the radio. He began calling out Xiaomi's name loudly, anticipating that she would hear and respond promptly. Eventually, they caught a faint whisper emanating from the corner talk about a dramatic turn of events. Swiftly grabbed Xiaomi's arm, forcefully dragged her out of the room, and subsequently, they all sailed or quickened their pace towards the car. But just as everyone gathered, Little Fish suddenly woke up, weakly asking him if the mittens were still alive. Anne was left in stitches, thinking, what on earth are you saying? You've pulled the glove off your hand, haven't you? Are you naively expecting it to miraculously come back to life? Anne was feeling mixed emotions as she tossed the crazy doll into the chaos, but Big Cook had no idea. In fact, this reckless decision would eventually impose heavy costs on everyone, with far-reaching consequences. When they got back, Xiaomi fell into a deep coma. The doctor said it was just a bruise. But why she couldn't wake up is a mystery. Once they returned to the hotel, Big Cook started reviewing last night's footage. Watching Xiaomi's predicament on tape, she couldn't help but laugh, as if it were a comedy. Clearly, she was absolutely delighted with the results, prompting her to immediately call the paranormal show and demand a price increase, or else she'd consider selling to the highest bidder out there. Next door, Little Knight was having a nightmare, drenched in sweat, waking up to see her deceased brother right in front of her. He had blood on his face and was choking Little Knight. It was just a dream, but The Cyrillic letter 4E1/4 Cicadilla. The next day, the chef visited Xiaomi in the hospital while her hadn't rested in 2 days. She apologized and urged them to get some rest, but as soon as left, he climbed right onto the bed. Gazing lovingly at the unconscious girl, he couldn't help but say he was the one who truly loved her. What exactly do I lack compared to him that caused me to end up getting emotional myself? While Sayomi was passed out, he surprisingly kissed her, only to have her wake up at that moment. Big Cook jumped in shock, but seeing that Sayomi didn't pull away, he grew bolder. Before they knew it, it was afternoon, and Big Cook was nowhere to be found, but the other three returned to the room, finding Sayomi looking much better. She even demanded to be discharged immediately, eager to drink with everyone, as if the recent events were a distant memory. But when they got home that night, Little Night received a call from Sayomi asking her to come to her room for a chat. At the same time, stumbled out of the house, looking like he had lost his mind. No matter how Little Night called him, he remained indifferent, leaving her utterly confused. Seeing Big Cook's video, Little Night realized the stuffed doll was broken.